right from the beginning on this whole conversation, we've been kept in the dark and we've been complaining. Right from we'll go to IMF. You remember the
Oh, yeah.
conversation?
Yeah.
We'll go, we will not go. We are not even considering it. It's not part of the conversations we are having. And then we settle on we'll go to the IMF. Then we ask the question, this our post COVID recovery plan that we've been talking about. Where is the plan? Then we are intimating to government that there's a certain level of debt restructuring required. The indication from government was that we needed to do debt sustainability analysis. The bank has not done their own, so we are also waiting and all of that. At that time, in the Republic of Ghana, it was happening. We were discussing it. Government was considering the options on the table. So all the best brains in this country, from government's perspective, worked on what we could put together as our best plan forward. Then we proceeded to now go forward with the alternatives. You see, you remember when we asked this question about stress test, they tell us that, in fact, in the document that announced the Financial Stability Fund, they told us clearly that they've done stress test. That is why they put in some specific things for the banking sector, including review of the capital adequacy ratio and other things. Then they moved it forward. So what would have been expected was that since you did a stress test, you would have taken into consideration all the scenarios that if we tomorrow include individual bondholders, what's the alternative? What's the option forward? What are we going to do to cushion the people? Then the third point, if we decide to even include treasury bills, which is a likelihood in all forms, as you have indicated yourself, what are the alternatives on the table? I mean, yes, you might think you are stressed in the process of putting together this, but that's why you are there. We are in a position where the people appear to lack more ideas going forward and are unwilling to receive any from anywhere else too. So it's a very tight corner. Presuming you know it all, presuming you have all the answers, and yet at every turn, it is exposed as having massive gaps. Gaps that makes it very obvious that you do not know what you're about. And you see, let's not even pretend that it's the massive complaints from the people that pushes government to do some of this alone. It was obvious to anybody that there will be pushback on the pension funds. It was obvious. This is a country that's just recovering. Let's not forget that we finished or concluded just around 2020 the financial sector reform plan. We just finished that process. Many of these banks were just deemed to be on the right path to recovery. So when you drop this massive thing on them, with a 15 billion, what they call it, leeway, when we are talking about some danger exposure to the level of 68 billion, how have you resolved the problem? And whose problem are you resolving first?